Let's cross to Jerusalem and correspondent Irris Makler. Irris, what's the reasoning of the Palestinians here?
Well, it's sport and it's politics. And what we're seeing is that the Palestinians are saying that Israel impedes their players from getting from game to game, that Israeli security needs, so-called, are what stops Palestinian players from being able to go from Gaza to the West Bank, within the West Bank. And they also say that another unfairness is that there are West Bank Jewish teams, so settler teams, are playing in the Israeli League. So on all these issues, they're going to FIFA for the third year running now and saying, seeking to suspend Israel. Sepp Blatter, when he met with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, they both spoke about the unity of sport and how sport unites and doesn't divide. So if it was just down to Sepp Blatter, he was very responsive to the Israeli Prime Minister. But this question is actually going to go to the Congress, and perhaps that will be a different matter.
Now, Irris, just to remind our viewers, Israel has, I guess you could say, the full range. There are teams that have both Jews and Arabs playing together. And you also have, in some instances, hooligans who are vociferously anti-Palestinian.
That's right, and that is one of the arguments that's made by the Palestinians. They say there is racism on the Israeli football pitch. And the Israeli Football Association concedes that, but they say there's racism on lots of football pitches, and they say they are trying to take steps to deal with that. So there are very racist catcalls against Arab players, but they do play in the league and they do play in Israeli teams.
Irris, stay with us, because we're also going to turn now to investigative reporter Andrew Jennings. He's the founder of Transparency in Sport. Thank you for being with us here on France 24. How's this visit by Sepp Blatter going to go?
Well, it's very hard to say, because Sepp Blatter's had 2 decades of ignoring this, because I don't agree that he's a great politician. He's just very arrogant, and he's paid the money to win the next election. But suddenly, the differences between the Israelis and the Palestinians threaten his old age dream of getting the Nobel Peace Prize, and he's been taking it up in recent months. But really, this is years and years and years of ignoring a problem which other countries have looked at in other ways. But Blatter is so happy with the support he gets from the Gulf and from American sponsors, he's only suddenly realized, oh my God, that's my Nobel going down the toilet.
Is serious when you say that, Andrew, that he really wants a Nobel Peace Prize?
Oh yes, he was in Oslo with part of the Peace Committee last September, meeting with a splendid woman who chairs the organising people of the Nobel Peace Prize. They all go the same way. Remember Juan Antonio Samaranch of the IOC, a Franco-fascist, but nobody ever said that. He desperately wanted a Nobel Peace Prize. He didn't get it, of course, because the Norwegians were not stupid. And they're not stupid with Blatter now. It's like crowning the career. Let's forget that every day you read in the newspapers and online, on television and radio, stories about FIFA corruption. It comes up to your neck. There's so much of it. And he's trying to escape it with an award to get him round it all. It won't happen.
Andrew, that end of the month convention where he's going to be re-elected as boss of FIFA, how is that Palestinian resolution to expel Israel going to go down?
I don't know, and nobody knows how many votes they will get support for. But it could be quite a lot from the Arab world, which have, taken exception to Blatter doing nothing about it for years. Because all they've actually got to do is say to Netanyahu, will you please tell your IDF 19-year-olds to stop kicking footballers? Just let them pass through to their training sessions, let them through, leave them alone. But we all know there's a sort of militant tendency among some, not all, some young Israelis to beat up Arabs, and it really doesn't work much more, not with the international federations.